You're watching The American on ESPN from Dallas, Texas. Tulsa makes their only trip to Dallas this season as they take on the SMU Mustangs in American Athletic Conference action. Tulsa coming off a big win over UTSA. Now they're looking for their first road win in almost 2 years. And welcome in courtside along with former college coach Burton and Breanna Sorensen, who will be along in a second. I'm John Liddle, and what a win on Wednesday for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Their first in conference play, but it is a different animal to go on the road against this SMU team that is playing incredibly defensively.
Yeah, a team that is one of the best defensive teams in the country. I don't think you're scoring 107 points, so it'll be a much different style, but still a fun game to see which contrasting style will win out.
Well, this Tulsa team is incredibly young, but we want to focus on the fifth-year senior in Kobe Williams, and he has helped lead the way in a lot of different ways for Tulsa.
Yeah, leading the conference, or top 10 in the conference in a lot of different categories. Averaging 16 points a game in conference play. He's 40% from three in his last 44 attempts. He had 5 threes against ECU. Coach Cockle refers to him as being all guts, being all about the team winning. They will need him in a homecoming performance, being from Dallas, to come home and really lead this team and have that senior leadership in this one.
And another fifth-year senior, Samuel Williamson, got splashy in a win over Temple earlier this week.
Yeah, just in a real stride right now, playing his best basketball. Coach Lanier referred to him as one of the top hard workers he's ever coached, and it's great to see his hard work paying off. Top 10 in the conference in rebounding and blocks right now, and conference play only, playing his best basketball. Look for him to be a big asset for the Mustangs.
The lineup for Tulsa, they've used this one 12 straight times as the pull-up three goes down for Chuck Harris. He hit 4 triples in a win over Temple earlier this week.
Greatness of this defense.
Ambrose Hilton wide right, but Harris is there on the rebound. It's like a reversal of roles, and Harris lays it home. This SMU team is great on the offensive glass.
That was a 100% reversal roll, except Chuck would probably never miss that badly.
Down by Barnes, another chance for the Golden Hurricane. Kobe Williams turns the corner and races to the cup. Williams, the fifth-year senior, the transfer from Louisiana Tech, who spent 4 years at La Tech. He's from the Dallas area. Series history, 60th all-time meeting. Tulsa leads, but SMU has been dominant as of late as Zurich Phelps fades away and hits the triple. A 10-2 start for SMU.
Yeah, I mentioned that shot he made in the paint was a big basket because he got to see a jump shot go down. There you see him shooting a 3 off the dribble. Beautiful stroke from Zurich Phelps. Yeah, you just see the resistance and the fight between everything that's happening on that end, whether it's a rebound, whether it's an open layup. Speaking of open layups, the and one on a great pass. Ambrose Hilton gets the hoop and the horn.
From B.J. Edwards, and the SMU Mustangs are up early. A nice run against a Tulsa team that has not won on the road in nearly 2 years. SMU up by 10. Welcome back to Dallas. SMU leads it by 10. This red-hot team has won 6 of their last 7 under head coach Rob Lanier. And as we bring in the third member of our crew, Breanna Sorensen, what has Coach Lanier been emphasizing during this hot streak?
Yeah, Coach Lanier has been preaching to the team that there's a big difference between assuming versus expecting to win. And you might ask, okay, how do you do that? How do you expect to win? That seems confident. Well, Coach Lanier said it's all in their preparation. You assume when you're unsure. You assume when you're not really sure if you put in the right preparation, but you can really expect to win when you put in the time in the weight room. You put in the time in the practice gym. And John and Brian, I think that this mantra has been working pretty well for them. They have won their last 6 out of 7 games.
Tulsa needs him to win. If they can stop him, it'll be much easier for the Mustangs.
Extra pass to Haggerty, who hit 4 threes last time out and knocks one down early here. Maybe a confidence builder for the freshman. Williamson sits down, but after some nasty work on the boards, I think he's getting nasty. 6 rebounds in 6 minutes. That'll work. SMU by 9. This SMU team, just an unbelievable offensive rebounding team by some metrics. Top 10 in the nation. Phelps misses the first, but knew right where to go for the left-handed tap back. Houston guy, catch and shoot. Deep one out of the corner, and it's a deep two for Tyshawn Archie, an electric freshman out of Houston. Ambrose Hilton, SMU trying to break ahead. Smith pulling up for 3 in transition, but Ambrose Hilton is there for the offensive rebound. Nasty! Timeout called by Tulsa. What a start for the SMU Mustangs.
Yeah, and again, continue to be relentless on the glass. That's what makes this team so elite. They talk about a toughness meter that they talk about every single game. They started with the A&M game. The team said we're about halfway as far as between toughness and elite toughness. In every game they say, hey, have we moved the needle? The offensive glass is one area where they want to move the needle. They also had a great start to last game, if you remember, but they let tempo come back in that game. Coach said the next step for us is to be able to keep our foot on the gas after having to start like that and build on it and not let a team come back. So far, they've shown that in this first 7 minutes and some change. Some of the best in one of the best leagues.
Oh, nice up and under there by Jared Garcia, who probes the baseline and reverses it home. He's got 5 so far. Front to Tyshawn Archie, who has to hoist a 3 and knocks one down. Archie not afraid to go for a triple there.
Here you see him defending one of the best players in the conference. A bright future for Archie.
Emery Lanier could close out on him, so he probes in and fades and hits. Emery Lanier's been mainly a 3-point shooter this season.
Yeah, great patience that time by Lanier. The little push away in the paint, showing off his shooting touch.
Leading scorer, Haggerty, not in the game right now for the Golden Hurricane. Williamson tips it away up to Phelps. Zurich, the 2-hand jam.
Just no separation you can get. Everybody's trying to make a play on their own one-on-one, but there you can see another steal from the double team.
Phelps measuring it up, the Euro, the reverse with the right hand. The English it took to go to the backside. Zurich Phelps already in doubles with 11.
I mean, just a thing of beauty. Convert.
TCU transfer, played 6 games for the Horned Frogs last year and heading to the hole this time. A beautiful kiss high off the glass.
Yeah, and that's part of what makes him good. He has that short range that he can also score at. He doesn't have to just make only layups.
Smith taking contact, count it, and one. The teardrop for Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith, we mentioned it earlier. Coach said this young man doesn't understand how good and how gifted he is. And he is another person on this team that this bench is a huge part of this attack.
Inside on Ambrose Hilton, who just bothers him to the point he blocks the shot and grabs the rebound as well.
Well, Conco talked about that as well, just bigs being able to switch.
Jalen Smith coming up body.
With no regard for human life, the young fella goes up top for the monster alley-oop.
Tulsa able to scramble for it. Open 3 in the corner by Kobe Williams. Maybe that settles things down, but this crowd is still buzzing after the alley-oop to Jalen Smith.
I think we were just talking about how gifted he was.
Foul on Wright, and the SMU Mustangs up by 12 as we recover, as we catch our breath.
Look at this. On his head is what the young fellas say. Way to go up top. Get yourself a poster, Mr. Smith.
Up to 20 over Tulsa. And Zurich Phelps currently leading the Mustangs with 11 points. Coach Chenier said that Zurich is just so talented that sometimes he tends to get overwhelmed trying to play the perfect game. So Coach said that he sent him a message the other day with a game plan that he needs to focus on just 2 things. First, to take a defensive mindset into each game. The offense will come to you. Just focus on your defense. It doesn't put as much pressure on you. And second, he needs to communicate at a high level. Be a leader. Be someone that the team can look up to. And Coach said if he focuses on those 2 things, everything else will fall in place. And Brian and John, we have been seeing Zurich turn defense into offense, so it sounds like he's been listening to Coach.
Jalen Smith to Harris in transition. Lines up the 3, but it comes off, and Williams back the other way. A flying dunk for Isaiah Barnes to get on the board. That was the first turnover by SMU in this game. Number 1, Harris. Deep 3, and Chuck Harris doesn't miss this time, his second triple of the afternoon. SMU with a hefty early lead by 16. Chuck Harris, one of 2 players for SMU in double figures. With more on Chuck, here's Breanna Sorensen.
Yeah, Coach Lanier said that he's really proud of the way that Chuck Harris has started to embrace more of a leadership role. Coach said in the beginning of the season he was shying away from being a prominent leader to the team, but has recently really started to embrace it. He said with a combination of his demeanor, his skill, and overall basketball experience, it positions him to be a leader, and now it's something he really wants and isn't shying away from anymore.
A guy who can make plays with the ball in his hands. He's become more of an assist guy as well. And look at the defense there. You see the hard-hat leadership right there from Williamson.
Cookies! What kind were they? Samuel Williamson took them all. Harris slips it to Phelps. From straight on, burying the three. Not getting the kind rolls on the road. Harris for 50 in the first half for SMU. They are on fire.
It is raining in Dallas here in Moody Coliseum this afternoon.
I thought that was an easy two.
So did he, until Ambrose Hilton said, not in my house.
Haggerty drifts to the bucket, and Tulsa back on the board. PJ Haggerty, they've held him down for a while. 9, though, in the first half. 17-point game. SMU playing for the final shot. Harris has been on fire. Harris off to Williamson, clearing space. It's good. Samuel Williamson finds the lane and gives SMU a 19-point lead at the break. And welcome back into Dallas, the beautiful campus of SMU and the Mustangs. Doing a number on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane at the half, 52-33. We are kicking off Coaches versus Cancer Week. It's part of the American Cancer Society's continued effort to eradicate cancer across the world, but especially here in this nation, of course. And I'm joined by Vice President of the American Cancer Society for our area, Jeff Bayless. Thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
John, thanks for having me. And it's a great pleasure to be here as we kick off Suits and Sneakers Week for Coaches versus Cancer. And it's great to be on campus with the Ponies. And like you said, they're having a great game. And pony up.
Absolutely. So what is the significance of Suits versus Sneakers and Coaches versus Cancer?
Well, Coaches versus Cancer, we're celebrating our 30th year, and it's a partnership with the National Association of Basketball Coaches. So 5,000 coaches that kind of lean into our work. They amplify the message. And Suits and Sneakers Week, you know, has been around for a while. And it started back pre-pandemic when the coaches were actually wearing suits.
That's
and
right.
we put the sneakers on them, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But since the pandemic, you know, the dress code's kind of relaxed a little, but it's still an important week for us because we draw attention. And the theme of Suits and Sneakers Week this year is called Set the Screen. And, you really take time to set the screen, talk to your loved ones, talk to your family about getting those important cancer screenings when needed. And the coaches help us amplify that message in every community they coach through their networks. That helps us just, bring a lot of attention to the importance of getting screened, which is critical to, in terms of early detection, prevention, all the things we need to do to fight cancer.
Because those recommendations are changing all the time. Where's a good place to go if you don't know what the recommendations are?
Great place to go is come visit us online at cancer.org. If you want to learn more about Coaches versus Cancer and the work that we do with all these great coaches, you can go to coaches.cancer.org.
Outstanding. Jeff Bayless from the American Cancer Society kicking off a big week here on the campus of SMU. Thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
John, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Brian Reed joins us next. SMU leading big on Tulsa.
Yeah, I spoke to Coach Consul about what he'd like to see differently in the second half. He said offense, they have to limit turnovers. There's too many times where the Mustangs have scored off of their poor offense. And on the defense end, he said they have to stop the Mustangs from getting paint touches. We have to get the guards from getting that first step and going to the paint because their guards are so versatile.
Chuck Harris, good screen outside. Great look by B.J. Edwards and unguarded. It's like a layup for him. SMU goes up 22 against Temple. Only 5 to shoot for Williams. Garcia has to hoist from straight on and rings one up. Garcia continues a really good game with 13 points. That is his high for a conference game this season.
He can't make you pay like that. They may have to go back to switching with him.
Williamson wearing those pink shoes into the lane. Love the reverse pivot for 2. So under control, Brian.
Yeah, little Cinderella shoes right there. The pink. We like it, Samuel. Big time defense on that one by Zurich Phelps.
Harris crossing over on the freshman and scooping it to the hoop. 15 for Chuck Harris. It's good offense, though, by Tulsa. They caught him against Harris. Harris
nice pass.
Wraps it around. Ambrose Hilton for 2. Right now, North Texas leading the conference at 4-0. Jalen Smith, so smooth from outside. Hits another 3 for SMU. That is now 7 of them in this game.
Look in their eye. Coach talked about this. He said, you look at your team a lot, and you can feel things when you look in their eyes and you look back at the team. And he talked about he loved where some of these guys are at right now, and you can feel it.
Big three by Ricardo Wright. The basket counts, plus there is a foul on Tulsa.
Yeah, tried to go under the hands of the help defenders instead of over.
Great look for Kobe Williams in the corner, and he's finally on the board from three. Back from Phelps. Smith ends up with it. Somehow Ricardo Wright saves it back in bounds as he takes cheerleaders down. Archie, wow. The teardrop falls 1-on-3 in transition. You know what helps? Winning. Winning really helps. Zurich Phelps to the bucket on the reverse. Another beauty of a fast break run by this Pony team.
I don't know if you're a Nemo guy, but
a couple head fakes. Nice job by Zurich Phelps to get it inside to Williamson, leading to the glass for two.
Yeah, great job with the assists. We talked about this last game against Temple. When they have 14 assists or more, they are 11-1.
How many they got today?
16 assists.
That's many. Oh, taken away by Haggerty, and he lays it in. Overseas as Zurich Phelps takes it away. He's got a 2-on-1. Sees Harris, and Harris is blocked. Grabs it back, and SMU stays on the possession. Williamson lets it fly by, and he slams it. Welcome back into Dallas. SMU leading Tulsa 83-53. 7:40 left in the second half. Coaches versus Cancer, a long time now, celebrating 30 years now, and it's Suits versus Sneakers week, and so see some matching sneakers for the coaching staff. Just want to make sure that everybody knows how important it is to set the screen. Figure out what you need to get screened for based on your age, based on obviously your gender, your race as well. Figure that out and get it done. And get it done for your family members as well. John Liddle back with Brian Burton and our whole crew. Kobe Williams hits the backhanded layup to make it a 28-point game.
Yeah, talk about the maturation of Harris. You mentioned earlier, he came here to be a ball handler. He has 9 assists in this game and another 3-point basket. As DJ Khaled would say, another one.
His offensive efficiency rating is going to be out of this world coming out of this game with the 18 points, with the 4 of 8 from 3, and like you mentioned, the 9 assists versus 1 turnover in this game. Another steal by the Mustangs.
There's so much length on this team. They get their hands on so many balls.
Ambrose Hilton hits the first 3 for him this season, and it is 10 assists as well for Chuck Harris. Everybody's having a day, and SMU goes up 90-55. Lanier in the corner, makes it rain from 3. Everybody is hitting outside shots. That's 11 made threes for SMU.
And their big man Garcia, along with these young talented freshmen.
Williamson gliding to the glass to give SMU 95 points. That's a season high in the 4th time SMU's been over 90 this season. SMU still leading by a wide margin. Their largest lead has been 38 in this one. Mojai couldn't put it home, but does a great job to let the skies clear to score the bucket, and the bench loves it for Mojai. Now the fans getting up because Jackson Young, no longer a walk-on, about ready to come in with 2 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, what a great story. Got awarded a scholarship just last week.
Jalen Smith puts SMU past the 100 mark for the first time since December of 2020. The route is complete. But for SMU, this is going to be a 33-point win, their most points in a game since 2017, and their most complete victory this season, 103-70, and SMU is 4-1 in conference play. Let's send it down to Breanna Sorensen, who has our player of the game. Chuck Harris, Mr. Double-Double.
Chuck, 103 points, the most points the Mustangs have scored since 2017. This really seemed like a complete game for the Mustangs for this season. Where would this game rank for you guys?
Well, Coach was kind of getting on us in practice all week about staying focused and dialing in. So we took it upon ourselves as a team to show them that we was dialed in from the jump. So we came out hot, we finished the game hot, and this is how we expect to play basketball every game.
You sure did, and 27 fast break points. That's insane. How does this team thrive in transition?
We take pride in our defense. So our defense allows us to get out in transition. We get stops, we get rebounds, and we fun to watch in open court. So we take pride in our defense. Lets us get out in transition.
42 points in the paint. What does that say about not only your bigs down low, but also the guards' ability to drive?
Well, this team has a lot of trust in each other. It's a very connected team, and we trust in each and everybody's ability. If one person got it going, we're going to keep feeding them, and if it's another person's night, we're going to give it to him. So we just have fun out there, honestly. We're just having fun out there, and it showed tonight.